Hello everyone, welcome to radiology's tutorial. Today we are going to discuss the sonography features of placental abnormalities. So first of all, we are going to discuss the normal placenta. Placenta is visualized by the end of the first trimester when it is depicted as a layer of echogenic tissue abutting the gestational sac. As here we can see a transvaginal image at 11 weeks and 5 days, and here we can see the placenta as a layer of echogenic tissue abutting the gestational sac. And here we can see the calipers, which shows the measurement of coronal rump length, which measures about 4.82 centimeter, corresponding to 11 weeks and 5 days. By the mid of second trimester, a well-defined hypoechoic retroplacental layer, which is composed of myometrium and the uterine blood vessels, can be visualized when imaging parameters are optimized to depict it. As here we can see a longitudinal image which shows a hypoechoic region behind the placenta and the retroplacental space, which is corresponding to the myometrium and the blood vessels. The additional hypoechoic areas are frequently seen in and around the normal placenta, which is scattered as a hypoechoic regions corresponding to the normal intervillous spaces and are commonly identified and are typically small and few in number, and these are termed as placental lakes or the venous lakes. And sometimes the swelling echoes are frequently visualized in these intervillous spaces at real-time evaluation, although the blood flow is often too slow to be depicted at a color Doppler. As here we can see a longitudinal grayscale, and this one is a longitudinal color Doppler image, and here we can see the intraplacental hypoechoic areas with no flow depicted at the color Doppler, and the blood flow in the intervillous spaces may be too slow to be depicted at a color Doppler, and the swirling echoes are seen in the intervillous spaces at the real-time grayscale. The appearance of the placenta evolves as it matures with advancing the gestation and becoming the heterogeneous in echotexture, and this maturation process results in the development of sonographically visible calcifications in some placentas during the third trimester. As here we can see the transverse image of the placenta at 38 weeks of gestations, and here we can see the multiple curvilinear echogenic foci, and these curvilinear echogenic foci are due to the calcifications, and it shows the placental maturation. And now we are going to discuss the placental thickness. The measurement of the placental thickness are performed in the mid portion of the placenta, which is perpendicular to its long axis, and the placental thickness between 2 and the 4 centimeter is considered normal during the second and the third trimester of the pregnancy. As here we can see the correct measurement of the placental thickness, and this longitudinal image of the normal placenta at 29 weeks of gestations shows the measurement of the calipers, which are appropriately positioned on the anterior and the posterior margins of the placenta, and these are perpendicular to the long axis of the placenta. The placental thickness measurement is about 3.20 centimeter, which is between 2 and the 4 centimeter. So this is the normal placental thickness. As here we can see the inappropriate and incorrect placement of the calipers for the measurement of the placental thickness, and this oblique image due to the normal placenta in the same patient as seen here, with the measurement calipers positioned in the oblique position rather than the perpendicular to the long axis of the placenta, and it gives spuriously increased measurement. And here the placental thickness measurement is about 4.82 centimeter, which is abnormally elevated despite the normal placental thickness. As here we can see the significantly increased thickness of the placenta, and the differential diagnosis for this thick placenta includes gestational diabetes, hydrops, infection, maternal anemia, intraplacental hemorrhage, placental mass, and placenta accreta. As here we can see the transverse image of the uterus during the third trimester, and it shows a significantly thin appearing placenta and a large amount of amniotic fluid, and the placenta is thin because it is stretched and compressed along the inner surface of the uterus by the severe polyhydramnios. And now we are going to discuss the placenta accreta. Placenta accreta is characterized by the abnormally adherence of the placenta to the uterus, secondary to the abnormally deep placental attachment. and it is classified into three categories in order of increasing the severity: placenta accreta, placenta increta, and placenta percreta. The sonographic features of the placenta accreta includes the loss of normal retroplacental clear space, anomalies of the bladder myometrium interface, prominent placental lacunae, and increased vascularity at the interface, uterus, and the bladder. The term placenta accreta has a dual usage, describing both the overall process of abnormal placental adherence and the specific case of the mildest form of abnormal placental attachment, in which the placenta penetrates the decidua but does not invade the myometrium of the uterus. As here you can see the longitudinal ultrasound image, and it shows the anteriorly lying placenta which is completely covering the internal os, and there is loss of clear retroplacental space near the scar site. Further, the lacunae extend into the uterus bladder interface, showing the abnormal filling defect. Now, the placenta increta is an intermediate level in the placenta accreta spectrum disorders. The placental villi extend beyond the confines of the endometrium and invade the myometrium, but does not reach the uterine serosa. As here you can see, the image shows the total occlusive placenta with the loss of the retroplacental clear space and the reduced myometrial thickness. There are the prominent vessels and the lacunae through the placenta, and the color Doppler study shows the increased vascularity and the vascular bridges between the myometrium and the bladder wall. And now the placenta percreta is the most severe form of the placenta accreta, in which the placental tissues penetrates through the myometrium into the serosa. Placenta percreta can invade the adjacent organs, most commonly urinary bladder. And here we can see the color Doppler ultrasound image, and it shows the protrusion of the placental tissues beyond the outer confines of the uterine myometrium, and there is a thinning of the uterine serosa bladder wall complex, and there is increased vascularity between the serosa of the uterus and the bladder. So this is a severe form of placenta accreta. And now we are going to discuss the subchorionic hemorrhage. Subchorionic hemorrhage occurs when there is a perigestational hemorrhage and the blood clots between the uterine wall and the chorionic membrane in the pregnancy, and it is frequent cause of the first and the second trimester bleeding. As here we can see the longitudinal image of the uterus, and it shows the anteriorly lying subchorionic hematoma with the echogenic contents due to the recent hemorrhage. And here we can see the fetus. This one is a fetus head and this one is a fetal thorax. And here we can see the longitudinal image of the uterus, which is obtained 11 days following this image, and it shows the decrease in the echogenicity of the subchorionic hematoma. And now we are going to discuss the placental infarction. Placental infarction refers to a localized area of ischemic venous necrosis, and it is a significant cause of the placental insufficiency. They may be seen as a hypoechoic region with a thick hyperechoic rim, or as a well circumscribed mixed hyperechoic pattern mass. And here we can see the transverse image of the gravid uterus during the third trimester, and it shows a focal hypoechoic area with the thick hyperechoic rim corresponding to the infarct in the placenta. Thanks for watching.